This is video 4, finishing touches to the new ride graphic. We're going to put a little lens flare in over here, change the color effect on this layer so that it looks a little bit nicer. We might put some other effects on the actual front foreground ride section. So first thing we're going to do is put the lens flare in, which makes it look like it was a photo taken in the sun, gives it quite a nice effect. For that we need to make sure we're in the correct layer. We need to make sure we're looking at the American West layer, which is the background, and it is filter. In this case render, and the one we want to do is lens flare. You can try out some of the others, it doesn't matter, you can't break it, just undo if you make any changes. You can try out lots of different effects, but we'll try lens flare, and I'm just going to pop it over here. So I'll just click the little cursor up to the top right hand corner, or maybe I'll pop it there, and it can look quite good if it comes behind the text, so actually I'll pop it up there. And I'll make it a little bit larger, the lens flare, just so you can see the effect. The brightness can go up a little bit higher, and we'll press OK. And that's the effect that's given, just a little bit of brightness in the back right hand section. The other effect we're going to put on is in the American West layer. We're going to not put an effect on it like we did with the text layer up here, but we're actually going to put this, we're going to click this little button here, which allows us to put different color effects on the actual layer that we're in. And the one we want to go for is curves. The button I've clicked on, by the way, looks like a black and a white half to a circle. It's called a fill color adjustment layer. So here goes, and we want curves. This is quite a nice tool that allows you to just change the different colors in that layer and show how they actually, you can manipulate how they all look. You can make it super bright. But the one I'm going to go for, I'm just going to bring that down a little bit so it's a little bit darker. It looks like it also highlights the lens flare that we put in earlier. You can see the little lens flare showing up now. Too dark and it will start to look a bit odd, but I'll just pop it down there. Apart from that, feel free to try and put some different effects on the ride, maybe some outer glow effects. Again, just go to the ride. You can either press FX down there, or you can double click on the layer itself and you can bring them in. There's tons of different effects you can put in here, but then remember this is going to apply to this foreground. So if you do a color overlay, obviously it's going to color overlay the whole layer, which isn't quite the effect we're looking for. But maybe an outer glow or a drop shadow might look quite effective if you put those on. But you can play around with those effects and come up to your heart's content. I'm just going to cancel that. Obviously that needs saving. That project is saved. That is a Photoshop file. That is this file here, which is quite large. It's in my video it's 5.5 megabytes, which is a very large project file, which wouldn't be suitable for using anywhere else. What we're going to want to do to finish is File, Save As, once it's saved. And we're going to change the file type to a much more optimized file format, which is this one here, which is JPEG. It has lots of other extensions as well, but the main one is JPEG or JPG, which is called a JPEG. And all we have to do is give it a name. I'm going to call it Wild West Express 1. Press save. You get some options. You can change the quality of it, but 9 is fine, 8 is fine. Those will be okay. Press OK. And go to the folder. It'll be in the same folder where you saved your work earlier. And you can see that's actually a lot smaller. That's 309 kilobytes when compared to 5.5 megabytes. And there's your finished product, which is kind of a couple of graphics all combined. And hopefully you can do something similar using the same tools.